There's the matchup for the final game. This ABC sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after this message and a word from our wonderful affiliates, our ABC stations. Specially installed lanes have really produced some wonderful scores, showing the excellence of these pros. Like in the first game, Mike Edwards defeated Walter Ray Williams Jr. 268 to 237. He moves ahead into match 2, and then he comes against a real buzzsaw named Danny Wiseman, who with 11 strikes shot a 278 to, well, Mike Edwards 277. Brilliant match to watch. Into match 3 against Mark Williams, Danny Wiseman, 277 to 235, and there is Slapshot, mascot of the hockey team. They're standing now for this final match for $39,000 to the winner, 20 to the runner-up. Go at him, Slapshot. I'm Chris Shanker.
Well, Chris, it's been exciting so far. Just something to look forward to in the championship game other than $39,000. The record score for the all-time record is only needed 430. Players only have to average 250 in this final game to break the all-time record set in Sayville last year of 250.1. And they are averaging 262 right now. And you have a special announcement for us, partner.
Well, I think I know it's good news for television watchers, because the PBA and ABC Sports have recently signed a 2-year contract. It's an extension guaranteeing the fact that broadcast coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue through 1997. The first air date will be, oh, you like that? Okay. March 23rd, which kicks off ABC Television's 35th consecutive year of the PBA Tournament Finals. And, Bo, I'm proud to have been part of them, all of them. And you have for 21.
21, a lot of years. And right now we have 2 young men who are anxious to see who's going to win that $39,000, the second Splitfire championship. Danny Wiseman against Steve Jaros. Big scores. And remember, they only need 430 combined score to break the all-time record in a championship round match. Wiseman needs 261 to break the all-time 3-game record of 815 set by Jim Stefanich.
In reality, all bowlers know that situation, don't they, Nelson? The 10-pin.
Well, the 10-pin knows they're bowling for $39,000. It doesn't want to go down that easily. Wiseman, who is an excellent player, both left-handed and right-handed, almost of equal ability. And Chris, one note on that, left-handed or right-handed on the Pro Bowlers Tour, if you can bowl just as well left-handed as right-handed, or nearly as well, you can bowl with either hand, although in sanctioned bowling leagues, you have to maintain an average with either the right or the left.
29-year-old. Tournament leader is greeted by a 10-pin on the right lane. His best this year was 9th in Ray Becker's Peoria tournament.
A beautiful, smooth style of Steve Jaros. He's a grind-out player, very methodical, up here, everything in good position, much like our tournament winner, Jack Jurek, last week. And, Chris, he's not prone to shoot the big numbers. He's a grinder-outer. I think he's really got to change his game plan here.
All right.
And what I would do to change that game plan is see what happens the first couple of frames. If you're 10-pin, 4-pin around, as Joe Bush looks on, if you're around the pocket, you have to change and go with a little more speed.
Jill is a promotions supervisor for Splitfire Spark Plugs.
They all had fun last night at the ABC Sports Party.
Group of young people with Splitfire that make things happen. Of course, it helps to have a good product, too. All right. Here he goes. He's had 21 strikes now this afternoon.
The whole championship round among all 5 players have been 80% strikes out of the 69 shots leading in this championship game, Chris. Tremendous action. And obviously, you cannot throw a weak sister, a weak strike ball down there right now. So Danny Wiseman with the real good wrist action. I like the way he opens his hand, closes it, and wrist up right on behind the ball. Slick.
Yes. Now here is Jaros again. He last won the Choice Hotels Classic in 1993, and 2 years earlier he won the same event in Edmond, Oklahoma. So they match strikes here in the final game, rolling for $59,000 plus incentives, Nelson.
And those incentives can add up to over $100,000 in any championship round. So there's a lot of extra money that the fans don't see, but the players are bowling for. But the #1 prize is that $39,000 offered by Splitfire.
Get up, come on. Yeah.
All right, Steve Jaros now leads by 10 by virtue of that strike. Wiseman will be up. As we're in Erie, Pennsylvania, where an unfrozen Lake Erie plays host to Mother Nature and today's championship trophy. Get a look at this. What a summertime treat, Erie. Pleasant in the winter as well. Support Steve's mother, Helen, and his fiancée is here as well, Wendy Wilson. Now it's Danny Wiseman. Can even things up with a strike in the 4th. The machine.
Well, he really put the putty to that one, Chris. He got it, opened that hand up a little bit farther and just snapped that wrist dead underneath the ball. And the key for Wiseman, obviously, is to keep his wrist staying under the ball and not over the top. Both players start the championship match spare and 3 strikes in a row.
All right, stringing 4 and taking a 10-pin lead. But now Steve Jaros is up. It's his turn.
Jaros' ball reminds me of one of the great players of all time, Chris, Ned Day. Remember how he had that smooth, methodical style? He set the big hook out there, actually a curve, and he always carried the 10-pin so well.
Leaving the 2, sleeper 8. Next week, Detroit, the Joe Louis Arena.
The man with a low-maintenance swing, shoulder high, inside out. He's playing a pretty good-sized hook, much like Mark Williams was playing, and every once in a while they get caught in that oil in the center. The result on that shot was the 2-8 spare, and by no means a gimme. Good technique.
Okay. All but 1 round.
18 games of qualifying, 24 match play finals. Steve Jaros averaged over 240 on the last 24 games in rounds 4, 5, and 6, and he's going to have to come up with something along that line to stay in there with Danny Wiseman if he wants any chance here in the championship.
PBA titles, 12 regionals for Steve Jaros. Now another angle. Norm Sammet, our director, really bringing you shots today. Total of 24 strikes this afternoon.
Danny likes that result. A little quick with his feet, a little anxious, a little longer swing. I saw his backswing go about 4 inches higher. He got the ball down the line. That's why his shot has more mistake room than the players throwing the big hook out there today, and he ripped the 5 out to take a 22-pin lead through 6. Best shot of the day for Danny Wiseman. Despite all the strikes, that was his best shot.
And of course, this is his 3rd game, and for Steve Jaros, it's his 1st of the afternoon as tournament leader.
A perfect strike. 1, 3, 5, 9, all 10 pin the pit. That's what Wiseman's been doing all day long.
A double for Jaros, and he's cut the lead to 22. Well, as you look at these MF temporary lanes, you think of all the work that went into it by construction people and lighting people and our own ABC people.
They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the wave of the future. I believe we're going to have probably 50% of these championship rounds in arena settings in the next couple of years. Right now for Steve Jaros, our tournament leader, this is a huge shot. Well, he has that very soft speed, and when he gets it around the pocket, he keeps it in play. But in a high-scoring environment, he's prone to leave those half-tens. We saw him leave a half-10 in the 1st frame, and here again in the 8th frame, the ball kind of quits a little bit at the pocket, and that's okay when you're trying to keep it in play. But here, you need all strikes.
Almost went over the line, sticking there. Okay, get that one over with. But it's getting late.
Danny Wiseman just took the 1st re-rack of the day. Up in the 8th frame, could take a commanding 33-pin lead with just 3 frames left. Has 6 in a row.
Could make a grown man cry.
That is the first major mistake of the championship round today. Danny Wiseman right through the heart. Gives it a whimsical look at the approach. What happened? All of a sudden, the match is on. Wiseman's lead, which could have been 33, could go down to just 5 pins right here. All right, partner, here's the setup. Wiseman, a possible 252. Jaros, a possible 247. Wiseman just gets the ball a little wide, cuts right through the heart, doesn't get a break on either the 4-pin or the 6-pin. Obviously, the 7-10 still standing, and the match has become a game with just 2 frames left. Chris, a little chink in the armor out there, pal.
Frustrated at this point.
Well, he goes through the nose in the right-hand lane, and then you can see the ball wider than any shot we've seen today from Danny Wiseman. He breaks down the 2-8, leaves the 2-pin, but back-to-back frames with marginal shots right as the match is ending. He has opened the door for Steve Jaros.
Remember, Mike Edwards said he was drained after 2 games. Now, Danny, this is his 3rd of the afternoon. So with the pressure, you do wear out, don't you?
Oh, very good point, Chris. Surprisingly, he had those 2 opens, and he's put Jaros in a position, our tournament leader, that with 3 strikes and 6 pins, he will win the championship. Well, spares have become a key factor. It was all strikes all week long, and now Jaros, who is in the oil, a little heavy. See that ball between the 2nd and 3rd arrows? You keep it in the oil too long, it sails down there. And we know as you bowl longer and longer, sometimes the oil carries towards the back end. You don't get the break you want. And now both players are frustrated by light hits in the 9th frame.
Wincing along with all of us was John Evans of our affiliate WJET TV channel 24.
Whew. Chris, how many weeks, and this is, I believe, 4 weeks in a row, we've seen the championship match decided by a missed spare. Here, Jaros in a key 9th frame has chopped the 2 off the 5. Danny Wiseman can take the tournament just with a simple mark in the 10th.
And how often do professional teachers say, practice your spares, right?
Oh, that's for sure. Right now for Jaros, he can finish with 224. He would force Wiseman to mark. And let's face it, the last two frames rolled by Danny Wiseman weren't the best he's thrown all day long, so the match is up for grabs. Jaros needs this strike to force a mark out of Wiseman.
Well, he'll be in the 220s high.
Title at stake, secondary story. They have broken the all-time championship round record today. It's just by how many pins.
Finishing strong. 29-year-older from Bolingbrook, Illinois, seeking his third PBA title.
Danny Wiseman, who has been shaky in the 8th and 9th after near perfection all week long, needs a mark, a strike or a spare, to win his 5th career championship and $39,000 from Splitfire. Right now, the all-time scoring record for 5 players has been broken. Danny Wiseman will not eclipse Jim Stepanich's all-time record of 815, but he needs this spare to win the tournament. Now just 4 pins. 4 pins.
Believe me, this man has fought hard to come back from a lot of disappointments.
Must stay behind the foul line. In this setting, Chris, you can get over anxious and run past the foul line down the side of the lane. So he has to be very disciplined. Stay on the approach behind the foul line. That's a lot.
Prior to last week, Danny's last telecast was April of 1992. And look what he has accomplished. Pat on the back to the champion of the Splitfire Spark Plug Open in Erie. All right, we'll be back to talk to the winner, the presentation, but first, this pause and some messages of note. Okay, we're back again at Erie Civic Center before this wonderful crowd. Thank you. And you see that Danny Wiseman has done a beautiful job fighting back to win the $39,000 in the Splitfire Spark Plug Open. Danny, I just told our television audience that other than last week, you had not been out here since '92. And I know how hard you fought back. A third last week, a victory today.
Oh boy, I don't know what to say. Yeah, I've been out here and I've been struggling so hard. And my physical game went, and I worked very hard to get it back to where it used to be in the early 90s. And, you know, I've been really working hard, and I don't know. This is just too much.
We'll give you a chance to collect your thoughts. Jerry Riccione, Splitfire Spark Plug, our wonderful host for this championship. I think he has a check.
I do have
They have money in all their pockets, believe me. Jerry, you take over and make the presentation.
Well, on behalf of Splitfire, it's my pleasure to congratulate you on your victory here. And we have 2 options for you. We have a check for $39,000 or a set of Splitfire spark plugs free. So it's your choice. I'll take the Splitfire. There you go. There you go. There you go. Congratulations. You did a great job. Good job.
Boy, I'll tell you, I just, you know, I'd like to thank Splitfire Spark Plugs for sponsoring us. It's wonderful. George and Nancy, what a show. This crowd in Erie, this was the best. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, Nancy and George Warren are the tournament chairpersons. Nancy, of course, there. And here's George.
Well, on behalf of Erie, PA and Splitfire Spark Plug, Danny, I'd like to present you with this beautiful Splitfire Spark Plug trophy.
Yeah, baby, this is it. This is it. Yes, thank you.
I want to, George, I'd like to, you know, this has been a great shot in the arm for bowling. We've been here 5 years where you have been the chair, and the second consecutive year that we've done this. So hats off to you, Nancy. I know you work hard too, and thanks for being so hospitable. All the folks in Erie, all of you. Goodbye. See you next week at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. For Bo Burton, I'm Chris Schenkel. Goodbye.
The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara.